Welcome, everybody. My name is Jeff Beck. I'm the Director of Admission at Trinity-Pawling School. We'd like to welcome you to our first Pride Perspective of 2022. And a big thank you for our boys that have joined us this evening for our Pride Perspective on the student life at Trinity-Pawling. So who better to provide that insight than our boys that are on campus, living in the dorms, and a part of our community. Ultimately, we had some great questions that were submitted. The boys are excited to share their experiences, and we'll look forward to providing those integral insights as to what it's like to live at a boarding school. Kind of peel back the curtain if we can. So first and foremost, I would like to also introduce everybody, and I'll start with Headmaster Taylor, if he wants to just say hello, and then we'll go into introducing our panelists.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking some time out of your evening to join us. Excited about this group of panelists tonight and to allow them to share with you Trinity-Pawling through their experience and their eyes.
Wonderful. So I'll start off with, I'll push it over to Harry if you'd like to start by introducing yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. Hello, everyone. My name is Harry Clark, and I'm a junior here at Trinity-Pawling.
Ethan, you're up next.
Everyone, I'm Ethan Fahrenbaker. I'm a class of 2024 at Trinity-Pawling, and I am from Scarsdale, New York.
Great. Michael, you're up.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I live in Hastings dorm, and I'm in my senior year.
Great. Ryan?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan Walker. It's my senior year, and I'm from Pittsburgh, PA, and I live in Fluid dorm.
Great. Garrett?
Hi, my name's Garrett Backus. I'm a junior here. I live in Cluett, and I'm from Ithaca, New York.
Great. Shun?
Hi, I'm Shun Shiriashi. I'm a junior here, and I'm from Tokyo, Japan, and I live in Dunbar dorm.
Great. And Matt?
I'm Matthew Yaman. I'm in the class of 2023, and I'm from Middlebury, Connecticut, and live in Cluett 3.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you all for introducing, and also thank you for taking the time here on a Wednesday evening, following some great games and matches today on one of our sports days, those Wednesdays and Saturdays. But I'd love to start off and kind of throw it out there. This is the most general question that we kind of always get, but what do you enjoy most about being part of the Trinity-Pawling community? And I'm going to toss this over to Ryan to start as one of the prefects. I'll throw it to him to start, and then I'll let you all kind of jump in.
One of the things that I really enjoy here is the interaction with people, and it's truly everywhere on campus. It's in the classroom, it's in the dorms, it's at the rink, it's at the athletic fields. Going to watch games, catching up with a guy about class, talking about how the sports games went, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, and you build really strong relationships. And one of the things we say here at TP is it's a brotherhood, and it sounds cheesy, but if I had to say like what's most true about that is it really is a brotherhood, and it feels like it every day.
Great. Anybody else want to jump in there?
I'd say for me, it being a smaller student body, it only being about 300 students total, some boarding, some day, I'd say just the close community we have, kind of play off of what Ryan said. I mean, no matter what sports you play, no matter what your interests are or what classes you take, everyone's kind of integrated as one. And like you can go down to dinner, you can sit with anybody. It's just a very close-knit community, and everybody knows everybody pretty well. And I think that's pretty special.
Great. Thank you. And Ethan, it looked like you wanted to tag on something there as well.
Yeah. Like Michael said, it's very close, but like there's not many places that I've been where you can literally, well, there's nowhere I've been where you can walk by someone and say hi. Like everyone says hi to each other. And it's super close-knit. It's just like a really good sense of community everywhere you go.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Mr. Taylor, would you like to jump in with a question?
Yeah, I'd like to just jump into that word brotherhood a little bit, because, we're so used to hearing it here, and you guys, say, speak about it with such affection and pride. But for somebody who's not here, they may not really have a sense of what that means. So if you could just maybe describe what it is. I think, Ethan, you sort of got at it, where you can walk by anybody and people are going to say hello, and that's part of the brotherhood. But what are some other examples of it? Garrett, what comes to mind for you?
We're just all always there for each other. When it comes down to it, we're never against each other. We're always together. That's what I like about this place, and just it's a lot since we're a smaller community. Everyone knows each other, so I feel like as a community we're really close with each other, and yeah.
Kind of to add on to that, in my opinion, I think kind of what makes it a brotherhood is there's a sense of communication within the community as a whole, where everyone keeps up to date, like what do we wear into this sporting event today, or what time is extra help. And it's kind of small things like that, even within the dorm. Everyone being like, is there anything as a dorm activity that we want to do tonight, or it's small community things. It's like I was leaving a class one time and it was like, what do you guys all want to wear to the hockey game? Do you guys want to do whiteout? Do you guys want to just do Trinity-Pawling gear? So it's small things like that that kind of make it a brotherhood, rather than just considering it going to school every day. It's more of seeing people you're comfortable with and people that you can bond with in school and out of school.
As an international student, I think the brotherhood's really cool, especially here because there's so many people from around the world. So you get to know a lot of different cultures, like through conversation at the dining hall, or like just walking in the hallway. You get to talk to a lot of people, and I mean, I have friends all over the world now, which is really cool about it.
And Shun, when you arrived here, I'm trying to think, I don't think there was another student from Japan here when you got here, right?
Yeah, I was the only student. I came in the middle of my freshman year. And
Yeah.
I was nervous about making friends and stuff, but they're willing to help me out anywhere. Everyone was guiding me into my next classroom, and it was really helped and made me feel like I was a part of the community for my first day here.
I guess that kind of leads into one of the other questions that came through, which is, is it easy to make friends, right? And so you've already kind of touched upon that as a student that came in the middle of a year, but and also as an international student. But for some of the other boys, if you want to kind of jump in, what it was like, if you can think back to when you initially started at Trinity-Pawling, what it was like to make some friends.
I guess I'll go. For me personally, it was very easy. It's just, again, it's been said, but as soon as you get here, there's just been a long-lasting tradition of kindness and people caring for each other at the school. Everyone's willing to talk to you, and you can build relationships on that. So for me, just because of the long-lasting community and how strong it is here, I think it's always going to be easy to make friends, because you always find someone that'll have similar interests to you.
Kind of to build on to that, I think another aspect that's great about it is it's a small classroom aspect of it is really gives a sense of like the educational purposes of it, and how you can create friends. And my classes are 10 to 11 people round table, so at Trinity-Pawling they make sure that this is a community where they want everyone to build a sense of like creating conversation in class rather than having your back to some students. So that's kind of where they do it in the educational purposes, is like a nice classroom environment, round table discussions that are very well put together. And the other side of it is if you do a sport, coming here preseason is one of the best things that they do here, within the Founders League, and it's, you know, where if you play football, you'll come here a week and a half before, and they offer the football team stays together in a dorm. So even if you're a freshman, you may be living with someone that's been on campus for 2 years, you know, freshman, junior. So, you know, those are two aspects of it that Trinity-Pawling makes sure, you know, small roundtable discussions on the educational side of it, while also creating a form of bonding in the sports purpose.
Great.
Yeah, and to add on to Matt, I would say dorm life definitely helps as well. I joined late last year, and in January was my first few nights boarding. And it was just super welcoming. Like I was in Star, and all the guys, like some of my best friends now, the dorm parents, like just super welcoming. And it's really like easy to get to know everybody. They're all there for you, and it's yeah.
Awesome. And I think this was thrown out there earlier, the phrase dorm activities. So I'd love for I'll go to Michael on this. If you want to jump in, and then Ryan, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What are some of your favorite dorm activities or things that you've loved over the course of your time at Trinity-Pawling?
Yeah, so I proctor the 8th graders with one of my friends who's also a senior here. So it gets pretty interesting over here. The younger guys definitely really like to get involved with our dorm traditions. For example, in the fall, we have our pumpkin carving contests, and then we follow it up with a nice haunted house where all the children of faculty on campus will judge what was the scariest haunted house. So just kind of that. And I think being able to live with people of so many backgrounds, you learn just so much about living with other people. It's going to get you ready for college, and even just in life with whoever you meet. You're going to be able to accustom yourself with whoever you meet and kind of just be able to deal with whatever person you meet in the future. I'd say for sure also it's super helpful in the dorm, as perhaps you have a teacher that is your dorm parent and you need extra help in that class. Anyways, if they don't live in your dorm, it's super easy to find extra help if you need it, but it's right there for you, as well as other students. Everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses, so someone can always help you out with your homework, even if it's not a teacher.
Yeah, I think another aspect of it is building on like the friendships when we talked about. There's always something going on in the dorm. The dorm parents are really good at providing stuff for the students to do. There's always dorm like activities, like someone might have on a movie tonight. Everyone might go into his room, watch a movie. Some dorms have like a ping pong table. Of course, some dorms have video games, stuff like that. So me personally, I don't think I'm in my room as much as I'm in other people's rooms, and just enjoying time with other students, and always kind of just hanging out and having a good time.
Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Wonderful. Well, I'd love for you all to kind of, well, not all, but some of you here think about that free time that you have, right? Because we're talking about kind of student life, right? And so not necessarily addressing your experience in the classroom, which you're welcome to do, but I think that there's a lot of what Trinity-Pawling is all about is outside that classroom as well, and that experience, that residential life and your student life. So what does your free time look like, and what do you do? And I know a lot of this is going to be surrounded around your friends, but what is it you like to do, or what's something that you didn't think you were going to like that you discovered when you got to Trinity-Pawling? And I'll go to you, Garrett, first, if you don't mind.
Well, one thing that we have to do here is we have to join clubs. So there's a very wide variety of clubs there. We have Rubik's Cube, 30 for 30 club, anime club, and so on. So you have to do that because that's where the effort grade comes in. You have to get an effort grade in your club. So I feel like joining a club can get you to do new things. Like I'm in Rubik's Cube club. I never thought I would do that. And it also comes, and also the athletic center. It's basically almost always open. So we do a lot of things down there where it's pickup games, lifting, sporting events. So there's a lot of things that we can do around campus.
Great, Matt. I'll jump over to you on this one.
For free time, I think a great thing about it is spacing out the schedule is they were able to as a community we spaced out a schedule where you have your classes and you have your sporting event, and there's, that free time that you have in between where, say you have, a lot of homework, you're able to go up to your dorm for, plenty of time before study hall even starts to start that homework. And, say one day you were able to escape all that homework or a busy day, sometimes in your free time, kind of piggybacking off Garrett, there's always team workouts going on, and the lifting programs here are very good, very well, if that's what you're into. And the athletic training facility here is just somewhere where kids love to go to, and spend their free time when they're able to.
Great, thank you. And as we get into that, I'd love to we'll go to Harry on this if you don't mind. What does a day in the life of a Trinity-Pawling student look like? So I think we'll kind of address. I'll have you address kind of that Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, right? The kind of the full days of school there, and then I'd love for Ethan to kind of fill us in on what Wednesdays and Saturdays kind of look like for us. So Harry, you want to take us away on what a day in the life of a student looks like?
Yep, thank you. So I think I'm going to go to sort of what my freshman year was like a little bit, if that's okay, because obviously I want to let people know what it's really like under these restrictions. But so I'll mix some aspects of what I do now into that. But so what an ideal day would be is you wake up. I like to go to breakfast on these long days. Go to breakfast, get a good meal. Normally we have chapel in our chapel. That's always a good place to just be with the boys and listen to a good chapel talk. And if you're religious, get some aspects of Christianity in there. You have your classes. You have, I think, 2-hour periods a day, and the rest are 45 minutes, the hour periods of the labs. So you'll have like 2 labs in the beginning of the day, 1 normal class, and then usually we'll have family style lunch. That's always a good place where a lot of school traditions happen. Fun time, just being with the boys and everything, and finish your classes. And then after that you have practice. So depending on what sport you're in, your practice will be from around 3:30 to 5. Maybe want to get a little lift in after, go to dinner. And then I personally am the drama officer of theater, so I have rehearsal from around 6:30 to 8:30. Get back, have study hall from 8 to 9:30. Great time to get your homework done. And then from 9:30 to around 10:30 or 10:15, I should say. That's just chill time being with the boys. And then those last 15 minutes is winding down, going to bed, and I'm a proctor in the dorm as well, so I'll be doing check-in. So that's normally what those full days are like.
Great, thank you. And then Ethan, you want to jump on kind of Wednesday and then go into Saturday a little bit?
So Wednesdays and Saturdays are game days. So on Wednesday, we have a half day, which is 4 class periods. So my usual schedule is wake up, go to breakfast, get ready for class, go through those 4 classes, and then around 12 is lunch. And games are sort of anywhere from like 3, or if it's an away game, sometimes 4. And you play that, come back, and usually you're pretty tired after a game. So just shower, go to dinner, and sometimes I'll hang out with my friends before study hall. You can either go to extra help or just stay in your dorm and do work. And then, just hang out with your friends and go to bed. And Saturdays, this year we have Saturday programming. So that sort of runs from 9 to 11. And the same morning thing, like there's breakfast open from like 7 to 8:30. So after Saturday programming, you can go back to your dorm for a little and have lunch. And then games are usually around 2, sometimes later as well, since it's on a weekend. And yeah.
Somebody
Great.
want to describe the Saturday programming? Like what is it, and what are the institutes and things like that?
Yeah, so Saturday programming sort of covers like there's Citizenship Institute, environmental, and a bunch of other ones. So it sort of changes week by week, but it'll focus on one of those. And like this past weekend, we had something on Martin Luther King Jr. And sort of different, it's sort of split up by either grade or dorm, and you just learn about something that you usually wouldn't. And it was super interesting.
Great, thank you.
I've got a couple of questions, if you don't mind, Mr. Beck.
Please do jump in. Yeah.
You know, we've talked a lot about student life already, but we really haven't talked about Trinity-Pawling as a boys' school. Now, perhaps some of you came here because you were looking for a boys' school. I would imagine that some of you came here because, you were looking at Trinity-Pawling and some other schools. I would imagine most of you probably came from a school that wasn't a boys' school. So talk a little bit about Trinity-Pawling as a boys' school. What surprised you about it, and what you think is distinctive about that, other than the obvious.
I have a bit of an interesting take on it. I went to a junior boarding school that was also an all boys school. So I attend TP with my twin brother. So we did look at other co-ed schools as well as TP, obviously, before making our choice. And what kind of stuck out to us that still just seemed important was there was less distractions in the classroom, on the athletic fields, and there was still opportunities to see like girls on the weekends. They've been limited because of COVID, but we have had events where we go to all girls schools, as well as the all girls schools tend to come to, say, a Trinity-Pawling football game or another athletic event on campus. So that is still there. I definitely say in the classroom, everyone's a bit more relaxed, everyone's a bit more focused on the task at hand. So with that distraction out of the way, as well as small classroom sizes, it's a very great environment to learn in.
Great. Anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, I think kind of piggybacking off of what Michael had said, a good thing about kind of what makes us, the certain aspect of the boys' school here is when you have 10 guys learning in a classroom, everything seems to be a little more easier in terms of working as a group, coming together, formulating questions, or even getting in the group and solving certain problems. When you have everyone come together, and whether it's your teammate in your classroom or it's a kid at your dorm that you have a personal connection with. This is what's great about the boys' school is that you are creating these relationships outside of the classroom and inside of the classroom. And the smaller aspect of it with these classrooms and these roundtable discussions, that's kind of what makes it great. Is you're all there face to face in this classroom, and it just creates a different aspect of it and makes everything seem a little more personal rather than just a forced relationship.
Great, thank you. And now I'm going to go to kind of our older kids on the call here today, our older boys, Michael and Ryan, and I'd like for you all to kind of just name a school tradition that you really like, and then just briefly describe what that tradition is. So talk about one tradition. You got to pick your favorite one and just kind of discuss that one a little bit.
We have a lot of traditions that are great, but my favorite one, the one I'm looking forward to most, is softball in the spring on the quad. Every spring, the whole school participates, and we draft softball teams that are led by seniors. We're excited to pick a squad this year, and we all kind of play in this like tournament style. Really, it's kind of like a mini little season, and we compete every week after school. And there's a winner that's crowned, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun to see with everyone participating, the different athletic abilities of certain kids. And it's just a really great bonding experience.
Great, thank you. Anybody else want to share their favorite tradition?
My favorite tradition on campus would probably be our chapel talks that all students and faculty have the opportunity to give. We all sort of, if you would like to, you can speak with our chaplain, Father Lennox. You can sign up to give almost a homily or a sermon rather to the whole school at one of our weekly chapel events. It's just a really cool way to get some public speaking experience. And it's a great way to kind of bring yourself closer to the community. You can share anything from a goal in your life to a personal experience. Share anything that you think would benefit the community from hearing. I did one this past fall and it was a great experience, and I recommend it to anybody.
Take some courage, right, to stand up there and address the brotherhood, right? So yeah, you stand in front of everybody and you feel what it's like for those folks to stand up there every day. So it's pretty cool. Good for you. Awesome. We have a couple more questions that have kind of come through here, and Headmaster Taylor, I don't know if you have a few lined up. So if you'd like to ask a few, we'll go to you first, and then come through with a couple of the other ones that we have here as well.
Sure. I won't speak for Mr. Beck, but I know that during my long career of working with high school kids, one of the great benefits is that it sort of keeps me sort of in touch with that time in my life when I was in high school. And I often think, as I watch you guys around campus, that there are things that are normal here that would never have been normal at my high school. And I'd like for you to sort of think about that, maybe your previous school, things that you take for granted here that are normal that wouldn't have been normal where you were, and what some of those things might be.
One that really comes to mind, and it's kind of, a little different, is advisory dinner, which I find very unique, or advisory lunch, I'm sorry, which is very unique because I think, it's a little different than, the average, whether you come from a public school or even a different private school. It's very different because, it gives you a great opportunity where you can meet with the person, that you have decided you put the most trust into, as a teacher here. And it's just a little different that you're having lunch with like a teacher every single Tuesday, and to me that was just it's a very unique experience, and not many kids get to kind of take it for granted that you get to ask questions and their own personal experiences, or even sometimes different conversations, more chill, like, how was your day? And yeah.
Great, thank you.
I would have to say it's the family style meals here. We didn't have anything like that at my old school, and we get assigned with random teachers and maybe 8 to 10 random students at one table, and it's a really good opportunity to get to know a lot of people. And once you know them at family style lunch, you get to talk to them or have a conversation with them whenever you see them on campus. So I think it's a really good opportunity, and that was really special for me.
Awesome, great. So this is a two-part question that we have here for you all, which is what was the main reason why you chose to attend Trinity-Pawling? And if you could edit that reason now, having been a student at Trinity-Pawling, what would be your main reason for wanting to attend now? Does that make sense for everybody?
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah, of course. So, you had a reason as to why you wanted to attend Trinity-Pawling before you got to campus, and now having been on campus, what's your reason? It may have shifted. It may still be the same, but it may have shifted. And what's that new reason, if you will, if you could go back and adjust and say, wow, this is pretty cool. I wish this was the reason why I chose, right?
Um.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you got it. Whoever was just wanted to talk.
Ethan, I think you had your hand up there. Go for
Ethan.
it.
Yeah.
you-
Well, I would say the original reason would be academically. I used to go to a bigger school, and just looking here, I found that smaller classes, it sort of helps you pay attention more, especially like Matt said earlier, the circular tables, everyone's sort of looking at each other, and it really helps you learn more. You're more focused and you participate more. And I would say, like, since I've been here, another reason would be athletics, the development. You're practicing every day after school, working with great coaches, and I would say that's a major bonus. It really helps you, and you see the development year by year.
Great. Anybody else?
Yeah. So obviously, like if you're a student that's living in the prep school like I was, I wanted to advance in my academic learning and also looking to advance in my athletic career as well. But the thing that really made TP stand out to me was whenever I took my tour, I took it with the head hockey coach, Coach Bob Ferraris, and the tours here are great. They really take you around campus. They talk to you, get to see what you're thinking about, what you're looking for. And the vibe I got from Coach was just he was a very down to earth person. And I think that's what really made me and my family choose Trinity-Pawling, because overall, I think the relationships and the type of people that are here throughout the whole community with the athletics, academics, even the people that are working on the lawn every day, everyone's a great person. Everyone's always communicating and talking to each other. And I wouldn't change my answer to why I'm here now as well.
Great. Thank you. Much appreciated. Other questions or anybody else, or excuse me, other answers to that question for anybody?
I would say the reason why I wanted to come here is because when I took a tour here and like whenever I looked the school up, there were so many options of what I can do with my life here. There were so many new things I can try out, like sports, maybe clubs. And on the academic side, there's so many teachers that are willing to help you out. Even if it's late at night or like after school, they're always there to help you, which really helps, because if you don't have a thing if you have a thing that you can't understand, it's really good if a teacher can just teach you more than like looking at the textbook by yourself. So I think it really helped me, and my answer would not change right now too.
Great. Thank you. Much appreciated. Headmaster Taylor, do you have any other questions there that you would like to ask?
Yeah, this has to do with, this is kind of a bizarre question, but if you imagine coming back at your 25th reunion, what would you want to make sure did not change in the 25 years since you graduated? What would you be happy was still sort of the same?
Myself, I would say with all the people that I've met, kind of just the way Trinity-Pawling has helped grow and shape them. I hope that continues for not only myself, but for them throughout their time. And when we meet again, that those traits are still there.
I hope that in 25 years we can still talk about what happened during our years here, and like you said, some of the traditions that we have, we can always look back on those, and like special sports games, stuff like that, and events that happen. And I just hope not to lose touch with anyone that I've met with, because there's a lot of great people here.
It's a bit of a trick question because I've been around a lot of 25th reunion classes, and they call each other by the same nicknames they did when they were students. They remember the exact games, play by play. They remember things that happened in the dorm. They remember what food they liked. They remember teachers and teachers' odd quirks and things like that.
And that's the fun part about being a part of this community, right? Is that the school is a home away from home for a lot of students, right? And so these are very formative years for the boys and they grow up together quite in some fashion, right? And so I think that also leads to that bond and that brotherhood, and the trust that is built, day over day and year over year for the boys on campus is something that it doesn't fade over time, which is pretty unique to see. And once you're part of the Trinity-Pawling community, you're always a part of the Trinity-Pawling community, which is a really cool thing to see, and experience for that matter. And if Headmaster Taylor, if you don't have any other questions, I have one final one for the boys here, which would be, and this is for every single person. If you were to describe either your experience or use a word to describe Trinity-Pawling and what it means to you, what one word comes to mind? So this will be a little bit of a fun, challenging experiment, but I'll start. We'll go reverse order for how I introduced you, but I will start with Matt on this one.
Yeah, I would go with my word would definitely be unique. I think that a reasoning behind the word would just be that as a community, we do things in a much different way in terms of bonding and communicating, and but we're still we still end up building relationships and how everything goes well. And we always find our way and are able to get around things.
Great. Sean, you're up.
I would say inclusion. Everyone here is really friendly. They want you to be a part of your friend group or their friend group. So like whenever I'm walking down in the dining hall by myself, I always end up with like 4 kids around me talking, and we sit at the same table. I think that's a really good aspect of the school. So I think that's
Great.
what it is.
Great word. Garrett?
I'm gonna say community. I mean, we do everything together, and that's every day. Sports practices, school, family style lunch and dinner sometimes. Everyone knows each other, and it's just a really good place to be, in my opinion.
Great. Ryan?
I would say devoted. A lot of people care about each other a lot around here, and a lot of people have different agendas and stuff that they want to get done with their time at Trinity-Pawling. And I would say there's a lot of people to help you become the best person, student, and athlete that you can be.
Awesome. Great. Michael?
I kind of more of a simple answer. I describe Trinity-Pawling just as special. I don't think there's a place where there's so many faculty and students and friends and teammates that are rooting for you to get that win at your wrestling match or to get 100 on that math test. Everyone's just rooting for everybody to succeed. So
great. Love it. Ethan?
I would say challenging, but in a good way. You're sort of pushed in the classroom and on the athletic fields every day to be like the best version of yourself and to work your hardest. And I think it definitely helps, like as I see in my time here, just you mature faster and you become a better student and a better athlete. And I find it really helpful.
Great. And Harry?
I would say kind of piggyback of what Ethan said, but like it's packed, but in a good way, in the sense of like your schedule. And there's here's a better word, opportunity. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Opportunity is my word, as there's so many different things that you can do, so many chances for you to meet somebody or try something new, or there's so much you can do that you shouldn't be in your room that much unless you're with other people doing stuff. So I would say my word's opportunity.
Great. All great words. And I thank you. And I'm going to push it over to Headmaster Taylor and hear what his word is as well.
Oh, Garrett asked me this a while ago, and the word I used when Garrett said it was scrappy. I think I that's what I love most about Trinity-Pawling is I think there's a scrappiness in a good way. I mean, we're going to dig in and work hard and be proud of working hard and give it our best, no matter if you're a student, if you're a faculty member, if you're a staff member, we're all in it to give it our best.
Absolutely. And if you all don't mind, I'll share mine. I think being part of this community is the authenticity. That word is what kind of comes to mind. I think that the kids from the youngest student that we have to the oldest student that we have, kids can be who they are. They can be their authentic selves, and that allows them to grow and develop that sense of confidence that allows them to come up with some tremendous words that you just heard that describe our overarching community. But I would really like to thank Harry, Ethan, Michael, Ryan, Garrett, Sean, and Matt for their time this evening. We really appreciate this and providing that window into our campus. We are open for tours, so you are welcome if you're a prospective family to come visit campus. We will have some more Pride perspectives coming up in the coming weeks. We also have some other opportunities for fireside chats, which are a little bit more, question and answer opportunities. But we look forward to seeing the applications come through. Our next big date is going to be kind of that February 1st for our application deadline. And then March 10th is when you will hear back from us for those decisions. So again, boys, thank you very much. Enjoy your evenings. Headmaster Taylor, thank you. And we wish you all the best and hopefully a continued great start to your 2022. So thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.